Welcome to the Full Nerd New York edition. Very special guest, Intel important guy, Anand Srivatsa. Important guy meaning this is a person who makes a lot of decisions at Intel, and a bold statement, I'm going to throw this out because I don't think I've ever heard Intel go this far over the line, but you guys have described the brand new Core i9 as the world's fastest gaming processor.
World's best gaming processor.
Wow.
Yeah, so hey, absolutely. But first I would like to say it's really good to spend some time with you. Thank you for giving us the chance to go do it. And yes, today we had a very, very busy day. I know some of your viewers have probably already caught up on some of the news, but we launched 3 sets of products effectively. We launched our Xeon W3175X.
That was a surprise.
Yeah, that was our 28 core CPU. We talked about the fact that it's unlocked. It's also going to be featuring a single core turbo of up to 4.3 gigahertz, so we're very excited about this product.
And that will not fit into older motherboards. That is a new socket and everything, right?
Absolutely. So that product fits into our socket P motherboard, which allows you to get a lot more memory into the processor, because when you have these many cores, super important that the memory bandwidth can be fully exercised to get the full performance on multitasking. So that product, as you mentioned.
Are you throwing shade at somebody here? Are you not?
I don't know. It's kind of foggy here. I'm not sure about the shade, but certainly foggy. But yeah, we've got about 6 channels of memory on that product and about 125 gigabytes of memory bandwidth, which again, in our studies, as you go up in core count, is very, very important.
And it's Xeon, so you left the ECC support in there.
Yeah, so there is ECC support in there, and as we talked about, one of the things, some of our customers in this space who are sort of in this nexus between a workstation and the really high-end desktop have been looking for this kind of a feature set, a Xeon product that supports ECC, has the capability for overclocking. So beyond the stock capabilities, we think this is going to be a pretty darn good overclocker. So we're excited about what these customers can do for these kinds of applications.
So it's like a prosumer, super high-end.
Super high-end. Yeah, we talked about this being, for very, very specialized media creators. Now, there are a lot of those guys on the planet, but they're really doing very, very specific things. This kind of new age of animation rendering, we showed a couple of instances, right? There are these specialized users who have certain applications that really scale to this kind of core count. And then again, as you mentioned, for other creators, for what we think the broader market looks like, we announced our new X series core processor family as well.
Okay. And those they essentially slot into the existing X299 infrastructure out there?
Absolutely. They're socket compatible. They are on our Socket R platform, what we call our 2000 pin platform, and they are backward compatible to the existing set of motherboards. And on that product line, we announced a couple of new things. There is going to be obviously higher CPU frequency, more cache sizes, so people will see increased CPU performance. But one of the other things that we've done in this family is we've increased the I/O capabilities on the family, especially on the low end. And so now our lowest end CPU in this generation, our 8-core CPU, will also have 68 platform PCIe Gen 3 lanes. And so, if you've got multiple graphics cards or SSDs or other peripherals, you get that full I/O capability from the bottom of our stack.
So full PCIe from top to bottom this time.
Top to bottom, yep.
And so it starts at 18 cores with the i9-9980XE?
That is correct.
So what's the big difference between the 9980XE and the 7980XE?
So you'll see increased frequencies, increased performance on that product line.
Okay.
And then as we go down the stack, we're seeing obviously some of that differentiation. In our previous generation, we had a 6-core CPU. In this generation, we're starting with an 8-core CPU in the space. We also have an entry 10-core processor. If you call that an entry processor, something that's lower than our existing 10-core from a pricing perspective. We've seen naturally in this space, as we've increased the capability of our K SKUs, our mainstream family, that people that are buying our X series products are migrating up a little bit. And again, the things they do care about, they're moving up on core count, because I think when we look historically at how our offerings used to be segmented between sort of our mainstream family and this higher end product, if you go back a couple of generations ago, we were up to 4 cores on the mainstream product, and you really saw 4 and 6 and 8 cores on the higher end. And so people who wanted a 6-core product for some of these workloads that scaled, they effectively only had the choice of looking at the X series product line. And now as we've seen our mainstream stack move up to 6, and of course today we launched this baby,
8 cores.
Our Core i9-9900K, it's our 8-core 16 threads, we continue to see that there'll be some people who, if they're buying for core count but want that single-threaded performance, this is a fantastic product for that.
Right, and this is the world's best gaming CPU.
This is the world's best gaming processor.
And how did you guys do that?
So we did some actually phenomenal amount of testing on this product. We tested this product on 19 games, actually 20 game workloads in total. We tested them across a bunch of the most popular games today. We tested them where they used different game developer engines, right? Different types of gaming genres, because each of them work a little bit differently. And we tested this product, of course, against our previous generation King of the Hill, right? Sure. The 8700K processor, which is setting the benchmark for performance today. We tested it against that product. We tested it against the other guys as well. And amongst all those tests, it's absolutely clear that this product has got the crown.
And 5 gigahertz, that's really the big secret to most games still.
Yeah.
Most games, it's not about 8 or 12 or 25.
That's right. I mean, if you look at gaming today, and we talked, we as an industry have been working for a long time on enabling multi-core, but it's a pretty difficult programming problem. And especially on game engines, they've been moving forward, right? It's been something that's been getting better, but it takes a bunch of time to rewrite an engine or rewrite a game to actually be multi-threaded. So on this particular product, single-threaded performance is super critical. And again, delivering 5 gigahertz out of the box is phenomenal.
Right.
I don't know if you remember, just a couple of years ago, we were trying to hit 5 gigahertz overclock.
Right, and this is stock, out of the box.
Absolutely.
1 or 2 cores, I think 5 gigahertz.
Right, single core turbo, but again, we think that's pretty darn phenomenal. On what we can get.
Of course, nobody's seen its performance yet, but I know with 8700K, that chip really did always run at very, very high clocks almost all the time. Far higher than I think a lot have expected. So
Absolutely.
I think we'll see 5 gigahertz in a realistic in most things.
Yeah, we think this is going to be an even better overclocker, right? One, we do have that single-threaded performance, and then the other thing that we added, both on the X Series product line as well as this, is we have added solder TIM into these products. And so it gives us some more thermal headroom and gives us a little bit more overclocking performance. Again, I think we've been very proud of our overclocking capabilities in general, but I think this basically, gives us some more.
So like you guys using solder in basically every new part that's announced today? I do want to ask that because people in the community are like, oh, why didn't I had a Haswell part, I had paste TIM, I had Coffee Lake, I had paste TIM, I had a 7980 XC, I had paste. Why the decision to go to a solder on these parts?
Just to clarify, so the X Series product lines and our 9th gen products, the ones we announced today, will have solder TIM.
Right.
The 28 core Xeon is actually not on solder TIM yet. Yeah.
Interesting.
So I think this is something that we are trying to catch up. It's one of those decisions you have to make on a product by product basis. That 28 core product is a derivative of our Skylake X server family product, so it continues to use our polymer TIM.
Okay.
Now, you asked the question about solder TIM in general, and hey, what was the decision like to bring it back? One of the things, again, as we think back on the history here, I think, sometimes people forget the journey we've been on. I joined this desktop business in 2012, 2013. And if you remember at the time, we were, in the tablet wars, right? The PC was changing.
Right.
But we really recommitted to enthusiast desktops starting in 2013, 14, once again with our Devil's Canyon product. And since then, we've had numerous overclocking features we've brought in, right? We've brought back full B-clock overclocking. We've been able to get fine grain overclocking control. We fixed some cold bugs that allowed us to get LN2. This is one of the features, and we were able to get it in for this product. And I think based on the number of cores we have and the kind of heat we're trying to manage here, I think it's a really good addition to the product.
And I want to point out, Devil's Canyon was not a solder TIM, right? That
was not a solder TIM.
On a polymer TIM.
It was a polymer TIM, and
correct
honestly,
until terminate usage.
And when we came back in and we put that product out, I know there was a lot of questions at Intel. Hey, are the enthusiasts still around in desktop? And we were very absolutely unequivocal that hey, the enthusiasts are who are in this business. And actually, the interesting thing about the PC business is this is where most people are going now, right? Now you have most people who are using a PC, they're using it for a very specific purpose, right? They're using it for gaming, and this is a great product for gaming. They're using it for content creation, where they're doing work with it, or this is their livelihood. We see it a lot being used, obviously, still for professional work. Our commercial business is doing well. I think we were on the early part of that trend where we said, hey, the people buying PCs, especially in desktops at the time, they were not doing it by accident, right? They wanted a desktop, they knew what they were buying, and they were buying for performance. I think that continues to bear out now.
Right. I do want to ask about the packaging. This is, for people who haven't seen, this is the brand new packaging for the Core i9. Adam broke it. I'm going to point that out. It is not Intel's fault. If you read stories that say, I can't believe Intel's showing off a broken box. Yes, Adam, Patrick Murray, behind the camera here, dropped it and broke it. Sorry everybody. But is this going to be in all the parts? Because we're so used to the cardboard that we've had for
So we've done some packaging changes in the past. When we did our, Broadwell 10-core Extreme Edition part, we had a structured box.
Yeah.
With our 8086K, we did some limited edition packaging. We've done some with the Core i Plus. This is absolutely a little bit of an experiment, but what we wanted to do was have packaging, which on the outside showed some of the capability of the technology on the inside. What I would tell you is this is absolutely an experiment. If you guys love this packaging, we'll be sure to do more. For this generation, though, this is special for the i9.
Okay. So the i9 in Coffee Lake S.
The i9 9900K,
Okay,
yes.
nine-
The Coffee Lake,
okay, got
the Coffee Lake 9th Gen product.
Okay.
Yes.
So it'll only be in that one, and every single part will come in the box.
The 9900K products will come in this box.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Got it.
Yeah.
I mean, it isn't like a limited edition box for you.
It's not a limited edition box. This box will be shipping with this product.
Cool.
Yes.
Is there? What's the decision to do the special box? Just because it's just cool, or?
We've had boxing capabilities where we've tried things, as I said, in the past, and so we were asking this question, hey, you know what? We're getting this great new product out. We honestly felt that based on the performance we were delivering, that it was going to be a really good product for gaming. We had a good sense of what the performance was going to be, and we were like, why don't we make the packaging show off some of that?
Have you considered putting lighting inside of it? Is that?
Oh, yeah.
Comes up, but RGB's all
it's possible. Yeah, we just got to stick a battery in. It's possible. That's a good idea. We'll have to go get you guys hooked up to our boxing people to see what they want to do.
With the lighting, I understand putting a battery in creates a shipping problem for that's a lot of money.
See, I didn't know that. See, this is something we'll have to go back and look.
So it's interesting because we have a stack now. You have Core i9, small socket, big socket, and we're going to have the super extra big socket pretty soon.
Yes.
Where do you think? Do you think this? What's right for everyone?
Yeah, that's a great question. I think for most mainstream consumers, we think, because of the fact that software and programming in general is difficult to get to multi-core, we think the 8-core envelope's perfect, right? Even when you take a look at gaming, there's a lot of games that have trouble scaling up all the way to that point, but we are seeing gaming changing, starting to take advantage of it. And certainly there's a lot of people that are gaming and streaming at the same time, and that definitely can exercise the full capabilities of this product. For other sets of customers, like people who are in the content creation space, some of those applications are much more naturally inclined for multi-core. And if you look at the differences between our socket, the smaller socket, our H socket is what we call it, 1151 versus a 2000 pin socket, the 2000 pin socket comes with the more cores, it also comes with more I/O. Just, as we talked about, as you add more cores, you need more memory. So you go from 2 channels of memory on this kind of a product to 4 channels of memory on the larger X-Series product line that scales from 8 to 18 core. Right? This allows you to optimize that workflow and get the most out of a 16 or 18 core CPU. And then when you get to the socket P side, you're getting that full 6 memory channels to, again, fully unlock the capabilities. So we do see, as these product lines come in, we have effectively great product for each of the segments. Or we're not trying to give you any compromise solution here. If you're a gamer, this is a fantastic product if that's what you want to do. If you're a content creator, you can be a content creator, do gaming at the same time. Our X-Series product line is really great for you. And for those super specialized guys at the top end, right, we think our 28-core product is going to be very, very interesting.
Okay. So for Core i9, if I'm a consumer, what do you say to this person that says $500, which I think is the correct price for this part?
480.
Oh, you're right.
Yes.
Okay, $499. What if that person says, I can buy a competitor's part that gives me 8 cores with hyperthreading, well, SMT, for $300? What do you say to that person?
Yeah, what I would say is I think, we got to be careful on how we compare our products, which is why I think you guys do a great job in actually testing end user workloads, right? What we've seen in our previous generation, our 8700K, which was our 6-core product line, is the customers absolutely love that product. We sold a lot more of that product than we did the previous generations before it, even though it was at a premium because it was a 6-core product. What we're seeing is the use case in gaming is moving up. One, because games are starting to get better to be multi-threaded, but it really is about the performance. It's not about the cores, right? People aren't buying for core count, they're buying for what they're trying to go achieve. And we think this product's going to be great, right? It has the right single-threaded performance that if you have a game that doesn't scale all the way to 8 cores, it'll still give you the best frame rates. And then if you're going to layer on top of that either a game that is more multi-threaded or a game that you want to go stream, you can unlock the full capabilities of the product. The other thing I would tell you is, people typically buy their gaming systems. They're keeping them for at least 3 years. And so we think this is a great future-proofing angle. If you're going to come in and buy a new system, this is a great product to start out with.
It gives you the high clocks and it gives you the
no compromise solutions. Yeah.
Core count. Do you think we're back sort of to the megahertz wars? It's so weird. We've sort of gotten the pushing core counts, but now Then it turned into a quality of IPC.
Yes.
Now it's like, it really does feel like who can push the higher clocks.
Yeah.
And
You know, I think one of the things we've learned, as we talked about, you know, multi-core is typically pretty hard, but single-threaded performance absolutely goes to the bottom line, right? Improvements in single-threaded performance absolutely show up. Frequency is a critical component of it, and so we've been focused on delivering that great single-threaded performance because that's something anybody can enjoy, whether you're a creator, whether you're a casual user, whether you're a gamer. Right? When you look at that multi-threaded performance, there are some classes of applications that can use them, but there's a large share of the market where that kind of application just doesn't scale.
right, and to be fair, 8700K was, even though it had a couple fewer cores in the AMD, it was still, everybody recognized it was a faster gaming CPU.
Yeah, I think you guys did the testing around the gaming side, and I think the numbers showed themselves, yeah.
Right, so that argument is now we're giving you 2 more cores and high clocks.
Absolutely, 2 more cores, higher single-threaded performance than the 8700K, right? Again, a no-compromise platform. We think this will be great.
Right, and if you don't want the world's best gaming processor, buy somebody else's.
Hey, if you don't want the world's best gaming processor, we have 2 others that we just launched.
True.
We have an 8-core i7
No
9700K.
no crumbs for you, AMD.
No, it's hey, we've got a lot of products for you guys to choose from, and honestly, we still have a lot of people still buying the 8700K. That product is a really great product.
Right.
We love that product. We've got a couple of really nice, good products. If you're an overclocker, you want that Solderton, you've got 3 products to choose from us today.
So that's another sore point of people. It's like, hey, I used to get i7 with hyper-threading.
Yeah.
Now I got to pay for it on i9, at least with the current parts.
Yeah.
What's the rationale for not having hyper-threading in the i7K part and having an i9K part?
Yeah, I think what you see us do in our product stack is we try to deliver value at each of the different brand levels that we're trying to go put in. If you see what we did with i7 this year is we moved that product from being 6-core, 12 threads to an 8-core CPU. We think 8 cores and 8 threads, back to your question around multi-threading, we actually think that actually gives you better multi-threaded performance and it gives you better single-threaded performance. And the tests are bearing that out. That product is a really good product. And so gen on gen, we think people will absolutely choose it. If you are somebody who has the needs for higher thread count, obviously this gives you that kind of scalability. But again, it's a generation to generation decision we make, and we're constantly focused on improving the performance of the products we're trying to give you in i7.
Okay. I do have some other questions from readers. I should ask before I forget. Greg Smith asks, do you think delidding a processor is a good thing?
Yeah, we talked about, I think from a delidding perspective, we have a broad range of customers who buy our products. Some people who are extremely capable, right? They'll do liquid nitrogen, overclocking. So we have a full range. For the traditional consumer, somebody who is using their product within the rated specifications, we'd say delidding may not be appropriate for them. But the high-end enthusiasts who are doing this stuff, I think it's an individual choice. And if you can get the most out of what you want from that product, I think that's something that you can choose to do.
So you're cool with it, and he's also cool with it because if you delid your CPU and break it, you got to go buy another one. So that's like selling you 2. TJ asks, what's your post-Moore strategy?
Well, I think Moore's Law continues to be a huge linchpin for how we go and design products. But we continuously go focus on trying to deliver incremental performance. And when we look at how we're able to go and work on existing process nodes, I think there's a great lesson there where we were able to go from 14 nanometer, our base process, to what we're delivering with our 14 nanometer plus products. We have over 70% performance increases. I think Moore's Law at the end of the day is delivering our customers more performance generation on generation, and I think our products really deliver that.
Okay. And Gabriela Ferrara asks, when will we get RISC-V CPUs from Intel?
RISC-V CPUs from Intel?
Yeah,
I'm not sure.
They're basically saying, shouldn't
move
Intel
over from CISC?
Yeah, I know, it's crazy, right?
That's
just
sorry,
like,
okay.
it's just.
Oh, this was definitely geekier than I expected from that question.
No,
that's a really good question. No, but
he's saying no, never. Are you kidding?
Well, no, I would definitely not say that. What I would say is, hey, you know what? We're always evaluating what the right technologies are. Right? We've been very happy with the x86 architecture. You continue to see products from us on that.
Sure. And he's saying when you can get a 5 gigahertz CPU out of RISC-V with 8 cores, come and talk to us. No. So a lot of people want to know when's 10 nanometer going to show up.
As you've heard from us before, 10 nanometer is shipping already in low volume, and we expect products to be on shelf on holiday 2019.
Okay, got it. So it'll be here when it's here, folks. I do have a question about multi-threading. Mm-hmm. So clearly, I mean, this is 8 cores, it's awesome. With hyper-threading, we get 16. You've got up to 28, 18 cores and all this. What is it going to take for developers to get here? Because to be Intel has done a lot of work over the years to try to get developers to support 6-core back in the Gulf Town days. We're still really, games are like quad core's enough for the most part. When's that going to change? What's it going to take?
I think this is a great question, and again, Intel has been investing in the software ecosystem around multi-core, as you talked about, for a long time. Our compilers help to go make software more multi-thread, multi-core friendly, but it takes a lot of effort, and I think in some cases easier than others, depending on the workload you're trying to go hit. If you are a content creation application, those things tend to scale more easily. I think on the gaming front, it requires a bunch of redevelopment on the game development side, and then you got to figure out if there's other workloads within the game, if it's physics or AI or other things you can load in. It's in some ways maybe a little bit like multitasking, but it does take a lot of work. Now, I think the good news is we have seen the game developers target to the hardware that's there and start to improve it. I know a couple of years ago, people would have said, hey, even a 4-core processor is more than people typically need, and we're starting to see that move up, but it's definitely pretty heavy lifting, which is why we think at this point in time, a processor like an 8-core processor is probably the best tune for an application like gaming.
Okay, so if I have an 8700K, I need to upgrade?
So, I would love for you to upgrade. I think you specifically, you definitely need our 9900K processor. There's no question about that. Again, I think our product's very exciting. We have some of our customers that upgrade every single time we have a great new product. We love those customers, right? But as I said, the 8700K continues to be a great product. We have a couple of new choices, and so I really think if you're ready for a new desktop gaming system, I think you can't go wrong with picking 9 Gen.
I do want to ask this because, and I think it's probably part of this is competition, but Intel, you probably feel this show. Intel, you're like the Golden State Warriors or the Patriots. People are just sick of you winning. What do you say to the community that's just like, I don't want to buy Intel because they're too good, right? What do you say to those folks?
Gordon, it's sort of like my son. My son hates Tom Brady. I'm like, you got to respect the man.
I hate Tom Brady too. I'm a Raiders fan.
You got to respect the man. You got to respect his accomplishments. But I don't know if the sports analogies work so much for us in this industry, but I would say that it's really heartening that we have enthusiasts that are so passionate about the technology that we're delivering that they really want to argue about what's best. I think that actually is good for us as the PC industry. Obviously, there'll be some people who are really passionate, maybe take it too far, but I think it's really good for us looking out and seeing people really care.
Okay, but it's also, earlier he had his rings on. They actually have these Intel like Super Bowl rings, and he took them all off. I mean, I guess you can't argue with whatever the market share. People are still overwhelmingly buying Intel CPUs.
Yeah, right? I think we're very happy with the response to our products from the end customers. Right? We've had a great year this year. The PC market's doing very well overall, so I think we're pretty happy.
Right, and that is the amazing thing is, again, you came into this when tablets were around, and people don't remember this, but it was doomsday-like for
Absolutely.
the PC industry.
Yeah.
And it feels like a second golden, would you agree it feels like a second golden age where the PC just is like,
I remember the first month and the articles I had to read that the desktop was dead, and my friends were like, why'd you take that job? But now, I think the PC is very resilient. It's a great platform. It allows people to accomplish what they want. And there's a lot of people doing very productive things. Even gaming today, which can be very productive if you are interested in gaming. There's a lot of people doing very productive things on the PC. I think, again, that's fantastic. I think that's why we have enthusiasts who really push the limits of what we do. And today's product launches are about that audience, right? To really deliver to what they're looking for from us.
Right, PC gaming is where it's at from, I know everywhere from kids up to college students. If you're cool, you play in the PC, so.
Absolutely.
And world's best gaming processor, we're going to find out. Okay, cool. I just want to hold this up so we get the wafer shot. We got a great prop to get in here. Just wonderful. These are i9 cores.
Yes, they are.
Wow, awesome. All right, well, this has been a great time.
I appreciate
Thank you for taking the interview.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it, Gordon.
And I can't wait to see
everyone.
it. We're going to find out. No, he said this is the world's best gaming processor. Reviewers are going to get this thing. If he's wrong, we're going to come back and say, hey, what's up?
Absolutely. I'm looking forward to your reviews.
Okay, cool.
All right, awesome.
Thank you.